This is a how-to video on how to set up a timer in Agenda Timer. First, I click the app Agenda Timer. The first thing I want to do is click the plus in the upper right-hand corner to start a new timer setup. I do want to type in the name of my timer. I'm going to do 4-hour block. This timer is going to be a 4-hour block schedule set up for a 4-hour science class. And it's going to include lecture, break, setup, experiment, break, team discussion, cleanup, break, presentations, and then wrap up. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to add my first line, but the first line's already set up for you. So you just click here on it and change the line name. This one's going to be lecture. Whoops, helps if I spell it correctly. And that's going to be for 50 minutes. I want to hit save. I want to add a second line. I'm going to hit the plus in the upper left-hand corner. This line will be break for 10 minutes. Plus again. This line will be setup for 5 minutes. Hit plus again. This one will be experiment. And this will be for 45 minutes. The next line will be a break for 10 minutes. So I hit the plus again, break, 10 minutes. The next one is going to be team discussions. That will be for 15 minutes. Hit plus again. My next one will be cleanup for 15 minutes. Hit the plus again. This one will be presentations for 55 minutes. The next one will be wrap up for 5 minutes. Oh, I want my discussion to actually be 30 minutes. So under team discussions here, I'm going to click this right arrow here to the right on this line. And I'm going to change that to 30 minutes and hit save. Now I'm up to 3 hours, 45 minutes. I've also missed a break. So I'm going to add a break. I'm going to press plus here and add another break for 10 minutes. Hit OK. But I don't want break to come at the end of this. So I'm going to press edit up here at the top left. And I'm going to position this break where I initially intended for it to be, right after experiments. There's one. And then right after cleanup is another. So I'm going to touch and hold the 3 lines to the far right in this line break. And I'm going to drag it up to just after cleanup. I miscalculated my time. So I'm going to change, let's hit done. And I want to change my wrap-up time to 10 minutes. I'm going to click that line. I'm going to change here. You can either hit the X or you can do the backspace. I'm going to change this to 10 minutes. Hit save. And you see now my total time at the bottom shows 4 hours. If I want to change the alert sound for each of these line items, we can do it as we set up, or we can do it at the end, depending on how you want to handle your line items. But if you want to change the sound, click on the line that you'd like to change the ending alert sound for and go to where it says alert sound. Click on that and you have a choice of several different alert sounds to let you know that that line item has completed. I'm going to leave this here to, I'm going to change it to amen and hit save. Okay, once I have this set up, when I went to go start the timer, I just hit start timer at the top of the timer list here. And it gives me my individual line item time at the top. And then my overall time, total time remaining. If I happen to finish my lecture early, I can click this little bottom right-hand corner button with an arrow and a line to move on to my next line item. So I can click there, and do you see how it progressed me to break? If break took a little longer and students didn't get back to the class in time and I needed to give an extra minute before we started our setup, I could hit the +1 here for 1 minute to give the students a little bit more time to get back to class. I'm going to progress this now to setup. If setup finished early, then I could press the forward button here and the experiment. Now, if the students had a question or for some reason I needed to pause our time and address a situation, I could hit pause and then come back and hit play when that issue was resolved. If I needed to go back and look at the list, the line item list again, and leave the timer running, I can hit return, and it'll still show me my total time remaining and my experiment time remaining up here on the top. But then I can look at my list here as well. Let's go back to timer. You can also turn your timer sideways and it will reposition how everything appears on your screen. This Add to Siri button here I'll address in a different video, but you can do a quick start of your timer by adding a Add to Siri command. Let's go back here and let's stop it. Once I have set up my timer, I can rearrange this as I've showed you with the break, where I missed a break line item, by hitting edit, holding the right 3 lines to the right of each line item and dragging it anywhere I want to put it. So you see here I can drag these and rearrange these any way I want. Or I can even delete a line item. Let's say we decided to skip a break. I can just click this cancel red circle here at the left-hand corner of this break and click delete. It did change my time to 3 hours, 50 minutes because that break was set for 10 minutes. But then I could go in and add a different line if I wanted, or add time to one of the existing lines here. Once you set up your timer, you can do different things with it under your different recent timer setups here. So I'm going to click and hold on this timer. I'm going to see this black bar of a bunch of different options appear. So we can copy this block timer and make any changes if we would like. We can duplicate it and leave it exactly how we want it. We can rename it. So let's say I don't want to do 4-hour block timer, I want to do 4-hour science. This is where we could rename it. I'm going to hold it again. We can move it around if we would like. We can delete our timer. We can share it with another individual who is using the same app. You can also code your timer by giving it a tag. You can either color code it, or you can label it work, home, important, or you can even add a new tag name up here. So let's say school. Click done. I can tag it as school. Hit done. There we go. It shows up under the label school. If I wanted it to be color coded as well, I could hold it here, press tag, and let's do green. Now you will see that it's also color coded with a green dot. That's the basic setup on how to do a setup of an agenda timer in the Agenda Timer app. Watch out for a new video on how to set up a quick start of your agenda timer by setting up that Siri shortcut. Thanks for watching.